In 2 miles, take exit 198 towards State Trunk Highway 22 and County Trunk Highway Y.
Hi guys, my name's Doug. Welcome to my messy garage. Today's video is about picking up a new project. Over the last few months I've been working on a deal to pick up a Project Pontoon boat. And just about turn off the highway here and head down some back roads that should take us to the dealership where I purchased it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoy this one. Here's the new project, 1984 Party Barge from Sun Tracker. For the most part, the boat's in pretty good shape. A little bit of staining on the pontoons. They're not too badly banged up. The upholstery's kind of shot. The carpet's kind of shot. A few little dings and dents here and there. Comes with a Force 120 horse 2-stroke. Don't know what kind of shape the motor's in. Definitely the power trim is disconnected, so we'll have to figure that out. And because I couldn't find a decent used trailer, I got a brand shiny new Mid-American tandem axle trailer. The upholstery has definitely seen better days. I don't know if I want to keep the bunks or keep the couches in the front or not. I'll have to decide on that. I kind of want to be able to use this to haul some cargo with, so probably we'll get rid of those. I got a table which needs repair. I've got that in the back seat of the truck. These chairs are quite solidly attached, so we'll leave them where they are. The captain's chair was a little on the loose side, so I put it in the back of the truck. That seems like it's going to stay where it is. For the most part, everything seems pretty decent. Definitely a project. The carpet is going to need cleaning. The deck seems solid enough, but when you've got moss growing on carpet, that tends to indicate issues with the plywood. So the price I paid for it, I fully expect to have to put a deck on it sooner rather than later. Anyways, this is what I've purchased, and now it's time to get it home. We'll catch up with you guys later. Here we are in the yard. Had a little bit of a minor casualty on the way home yesterday. The wind driving down the interstate at 65 miles an hour didn't agree with the console. It appears that the bottom lip is just a little bit punky. We'll rebuild that. My thinking is that I would like to put a nice shiny new console. Pontoonboats.com sells a nice one that I kind of like. It's about $365 US. A little bit on the expensive side, but it is really nice, and I'm thinking that I'd like to install something like that in the future. But for now, let's make what we've got work, get the boat functional, see what all it needs. Other than the console flipping back, everything looks like it survived the trip home pretty well. This trailer that I picked up, brand new trailer for a old pontoon boat. It tows beautiful. I'm very happy with how it tows down the highway. Had a nasty headwind for a while when I was headed west yesterday, and that definitely was slowing me down. This is a big trailer with a big boat sticking up catching lots of wind, so that's not a surprise. Otherwise everything seemed to be pretty good. Now what we need to do is kind of an evaluation on this thing and see where we want to go with it. I guess we start at the front. Spray rails, not in too bad a shape. A little bit dinged and dented. I think we can straighten those out. I did notice that one of them was cracked on the front here. Yes. This one, I don't know if you can see that. There we are. That one is cracked. There's a little bit of welding I want to get done on this boat anyways, so I will get that done. While I do have a TIG welder and have aspirations of becoming a successful aluminum welder, the fact of the matter is the pontoons are kind of critical, so I think I'm going to take it to an experienced prop repair guy that does boat repairs as well. Another issue that we have, this hook eye at the front here is broken off, and I would like to get that repaired because that is good for fastening the boat, front of the boat down to the trailer. Spray rails don't really look completely straight on both sides. I'm thinking the outer ones might be tweaked up just a little bit. We can clean that up. There's some wiring here that needs to be done. In the original pictures of the ad that I saw, there were docking lights mounted here somewheres, and this was essentially considered a junkyard boat, so people were picking some parts off of it. There, in the original pictures, there was a nice canopy style top, and it has disappeared, which doesn't bother me any because I just want to put a bimini top on it anyways. But those lights disappeared. Otherwise, it's not in too bad a shape. We have some plugs for the pontoons. I'm thinking I might try and figure out how to do a pressure check on those just to make sure I don't have any leaks before I put it in the water, because that would kind of not be a whole lot of fun. As I showed in the video yesterday, you can see there's a bit of moss on the deck. Customs was not real enthusiastic when they saw green sitting there coming across the border last night, and they had to make a few phone calls to find out whether it was acceptable. Fortunately for me, it was. And I don't know what that wire is off of. I'll have to figure that out. Something up in the console. A little bit of more moss. There's moss on the inside that needs to be cleaned up, and that's part of my plan for today. This little tray here is broken free. I'm thinking that I would like to put a swim platform here and modify this deck so that it can, or modify the rail here so that I can have a gate to walk through out onto the back of the pontoon and have a swim ladder that comes down to get on and off the boat. The motor, aside from having to figure out the electrical system, the trim motor is removed and sitting. That is the trim motor. I'm not exactly sure how it mounts on there. We'll have to figure all of that out. And I don't know whether the trim motor, whether there's a problem with the trim motor, or whether the motor was just removed because there was no battery and they needed to adjust the tilt position. Not entirely clear on that. That's something we'll have to figure out. Prop, yeah, a few dings and dents. Nothing too terribly rough on it. A little bit of touch up with a file, make sure everything is in good shape. I might I'll give it a scrub down and splash a little paint on it. The zinc anode looks good, but again, this is more than likely a freshwater boat, so the anodes aren't that big of a deal. And we've got another tray over here that needs some TLC. Maybe we can straighten that out. Maybe we will put build up a deck and extend the deck out. Kind of like what I want to do on the other side. You can get short chunks of the Z channel that support the deck on this boat, so I may do that and bring them back to the flush, bring it out flush to the back of the pontoon. The motor pod doesn't look too bad, and then the other underside of the deck doesn't look too bad. A little bit of staining, but for the most part, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. The wiring system, of course, we'll have to figure out, and I have no idea. You can see quite a bit of staining here on the pontoons. I want to clean that up. I'm not necessarily going after shiny polished pontoons, but cleaning it up a little bit more than what they are now would be nice. One issue that I want to be careful of, the standard way of cleaning all of these stains off of the pontoon is to spray it down with an acid or a caustic or something that will chew off all of the staining. However, that is not healthy for the bunks. Given that I have a nice brand shiny new trailer, I don't want to eat the bunks off of it by spraying acid all over the place. So we'll give those a little bit of a scrub and see how they clean up. There are other options, I guess. Jack this up in the air and tarp the bunks. That might be one option. This is a 1984 boat. It's not going to be absolutely perfect. That's just the way it is. I'm going to clean it up and make it look as good as I can, but perfection is not an option. Here we are after some cleanup. I've taken a scraper, scraped the worst of the moss off of the floor, then run a vacuum cleaner over it. There's still some staining and still some moss left, but for the most part it's come up pretty good. I'm going to take the boat over to a friend's place, and he's got a really nice pressure washer with a dirt blaster tip on it. We're going to give that a try and see if we can clean the carpet up a little bit. Unfortunately, DJI pocket gimbal camera and water spraying from a pressure blaster are not really compatible, so I'm not going to record that, but I'll show you what it looks like when I get finished. Well, I'm back from the visit to the pressure washer, and I must say there was an awful lot of grunge packed into the carpeting, but it has cleaned up fairly well. Yes, it's shot. I don't know if you guys are picking it up with the microphone, but the top layer of the plywood sounds like it's a little bit crunchy under my feet. So that tells me that this thing is eventually going to need a new deck. However, I think for the time being, we're going to go with what we've got. I want to get this boat back functional. And the existing deck will do for that. In the future, I'm going to strip this down to the bare cross members, clean everything up really well, and put a new deck on it. But for now, I'm just going to get things working the way they are. There's still a little bit of stuff, bits and pieces that got sprayed around when I was getting the worst of the grunge out of the carpet, and I think I'll try running the vacuum cleaner over it again. The orange that you can see down here is the remnants of the striping. The pressure washer I was using has a dirt blaster tip on it, and the dirt blaster does a good job of removing old stripes. When it comes time to completely remove the striping, I think I'll probably use the pressure washer. Still leaves the glue residue behind. We'll have to clean that up manually, but getting the coloring off will definitely be a help. Well guys, I think that's going to be it for the evaluation of my Project Pontoon boat. Be sure to check back over the next couple of weeks. I expect most of the videos are going to be me working on the pontoon boat. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. For more great content from Doug's Messy Garage, click on one of the videos that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. Thanks for watching.